Welcome to Driven Podcast number 2 with your host Plasma, GITD co-founder and content creator, and I'm joined by Simplex, my GITD co-founder and another content creator.
Hey.
How's it all going?
Good, it's good. Very tired.
Very tired, yeah.
Very
we was
tired.
Up late last night, obviously we're from the UK, watching RLCS Season 7 finals. Quick reactions?
Rip Rogue. Pretty trash final.
Yeah, you weren't happy with that?
Not really.
I was a bit unhappy with the bracket, but G2 and Vitality looked like the clear best two teams. Anyway, we'll get into the RLCS finals later. I want to talk about a bit of news first, because there's a little bit that's happened over the last few days. Do you remember in the last podcast, I mentioned that SSG dropped Sathu, and the Peeps dropped Arsenal.
Right.
Arsenal has joined SSG.
Oh.
So we were talking about maybe Drip A or whoever's being free, but it seemed that was in the works from day one, because the Peeps dropped Arsenal out of nowhere. So they obviously found out about that and then just dropped him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they also announced that right during the semi-finals, right before the finals, which is a bit weird to me. The Org Space Station announced that. But yeah, that was a little weird. But that looks like a powerful team. Arsenal's looked really good. I'm not sure why he would leave, because I do think staying on the Peeps, he probably would have performed better than Space Station next season without Sathu.
Yeah.
But yeah, it all makes sense now. Now the Peeps just need someone, and they could just end up with Sathu. Could have just been a swap.
Would they do a swap though?
I don't know, but they definitely would try out Sathu.
Yeah,
You know
definitely. It would definitely be an option.
Also, at RLCS, the fans in the crowd managed to break the world record for the longest Mexican wave.
Oh.
The previous record was 17 minutes and 14 seconds. We got it to over 28 minutes. So smashed it.
What, continuous?
Yeah, Mexican wave going round the
When
stadium.
was this?
It was between the semi-final and the final.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A massive break where they just did it. And then they kept going, I think, throughout the final a little bit. And obviously stopped at some point. But it was started by the host, and they got it going through the break. And people kept going. It's because, yes, the day before, we did a really long Mexican wave, like 15 minutes, and got really close to the record. So everyone's like, well, might as well, yeah.
Might as well just break it.
We also had the drama with Squishy and his bladder infection.
Yeah.
Coming up before day 3. It seemed like that would be a big issue, but he found antibiotics, he found the medicine he needed, and then ended up, to be honest, popping off.
I mean, yeah, he did. He was clearly very annoyed with a few of his misses.
Yeah.
But they did well. Torment carried that team a lot more than he was meant to, I feel like.
Yeah, Squishy did seem very up and down this weekend. Maybe he was struggling all weekend. He seemed to get really annoyed at himself for every little mistake. He scored an insane double touch. Obviously, we'll talk about all this more later in the podcast. But he scored an insane double touch, and later on he misses one. And he just throws his head up in the air.
Yeah.
He looks so annoyed. I don't understand.
I rate him though for only saying about the bladder problem after people asked why he was so upset.
Yeah.
So annoyed. He didn't use it as an excuse. He was like, I'm just annoyed because of this.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And also there was a funny tweet from CJ where he said, what is a bladder infection? How do I get one?
What?
Because Squishy was just popping off. Also, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched RLCS, then don't listen to this podcast.
Yeah, what are you doing?
But obviously Vitality won, and Gregan a while back said he'll get a tattoo, I think of the fans choosing, if Vitality win LAN. Now they have one, he's tweeted out and said, suggestions, and a lot of people are saying water bottle, hydrated gamers. But yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what he gets. I think a water bottle is the best thing. That's become his little meme now. There was this picture from their boot camp where he gave Squad Killer like 10 bottles of water. So I think he'll be good for the day. Also, we've got DreamHack Valencia soon.
Yeah.
And there's a couple more rosters that have been announced. We've got Alex, who was on the Right Overs last season. He's joined Ocelon, who was on Method last season, and Pawndex. So that's like a few rival series players.
Yeah.
And I joined together. Because Ocelon just got kicked from Method, who did okay last season in the rival series. And therefore, Rix One Day and Burrito B picked up Tigray from RLEsports. So that means a lot is definitely leaving RLEsports. That team seems to have definitely been split up.
Yeah.
And obviously for Valencia, a lot's teaming with the Bricks, right? Speed and Cuxer.
Yeah.
So that could be interesting. Maybe that is the team that goes on. It does seem like a lot. Tigray have split up by losing their third from Mouse. So that's gonna be interesting because a lot that could be the second season in a row that he gets relegated, then gets signed by an RLCS team.
Wow, yeah, damn.
Maybe he just looks really good, but he's not that good or something. I don't know why that would keep happening.
Some teams like the challenge as well. Like back when NRG picked up Justin, that was considered. They thought that was going to be a challenge to train him.
Yeah,
it was just nuts.
But the thing with him is that he was clearly nuts because he did carry his team to rival series, then they got relegated without him. I mean that RLCS. So he was clearly nuts, but it was definitely a leap of faith. They must have seen something early because wow, that was a good pickup. If you look back. Talking about that, NRG coming 8th.
Yeah.
Is it time for a roster change? Now they're obviously nuts, but feels like maybe you just need to switch something up. One of them, they want to win. They've got to be sick of this.
But the only one you get rid of is Fireburner.
Or Garrett or Justin leave.
Nah. I don't think any of them will leave.
Spots could come up. I don't know. I don't think so either. But I think NRG, how long do you let it go on before you win something? And that even though you're doing well, you still just want something else.
I mean, org-wise, I don't think they're not going to change it.
Okay.
Because they're still winning prize money.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like they didn't make LAN, or they're not doing well in DreamHack.
Yeah. That makes...
Player-wise, I don't think Justin's old enough to really be thinking about it as much.
Maybe, yeah.
I like he's kind of just enjoying it, and playing it safe is always the smarter option for a younger person.
Fair enough, yeah.
The rest of the team might leave though, but I don't know why. Why would you leave Justin? Unless you could leave with him.
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
Yeah, I don't see Fireburner getting kicked, but all I'm trying to say is it's kind of like the G2 situation. You keep coming second every year, why would you kick Kronovi? And their point is that they think they can do better. And obviously, I don't think many people would disagree that Garrett and Justin are good enough to be world champions.
Yeah.
So they could win, but however, I don't see G2 or Cloud9 letting up any of their players. So who on earth are they going to pick up that's better than Fireburner?
That's the only thing. The only upgrade is to physically buy a player out.
Yeah.
Then
who won't want to leave?
Yeah. No one in Cloud9's leaving. They're free. I think even when they get dropped, they'll all be dropped. I think one of them will get kicked.
Yeah. And speaking of Cloud9 and prize pools, Cloud9 are officially the highest paid org in Rocket League.
Oh really?
Yep. They are rich. I mean, they've been a team for a long time, but I think now that Vitality won, Kaydop is by far the highest paid player individually, but Cloud9 are winning overall.
What's their salaries bigger than everyone else?
No, their prize pool.
Prize pool.
Yeah, sorry. Their total prize pool earnings, C9 as an org have the highest in Rocket League.
Oh damn.
But I think that's just mainly because players like Kaydop who keep winning just keep moving around.
Yeah, it'd be hard for have a solid team that stay with the same org and win everything. Number stacks up. It's going to be hard to beat that because it's going to be hard for a team to be a team for as long as they have.
Yeah.
While also
being that successful.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised NRG haven't made more money, to be honest. Looking back at it, it feels like they've won everything except the major lands. But they must have always done well enough to earn some money. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, NRG as an org, I would have assumed had as much money as Cloud9. But Cloud9 do have a couple massive wins. And the Universal Open between Squishy and Gimmick. You know, 3 or 4 huge tournament wins. 100k plus. That's probably why. But yeah, so now we can kind of go more into RLCS. The rest of this podcast we'll just be talking about the last few days. We're recording this the morning after.
Yep.
So, yeah. I am really happy with Rogue. As much as I wanted them to win watching that semi-final,
yeah,
it was so fun watching Rogue do well.
It was good for Crow to get his confidence back. I think he needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird. The atmosphere must be so weird for him after just getting swept by G2, and then going to have to shake their hands, and knowing that you were the right roster move for them.
Yeah.
But it must also be good to know that you weren't. It wasn't because you were terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't because he was terrible. The team just didn't work.
Yeah.
And that happens sometimes. It does. It genuinely does happen sometimes. I mean, think of Dignitas last season. You have Turbo Pulsar and Violet Panda, multiple time world champions, multiple time finalists. They were even getting to finals and winning tournaments before they were together.
Yeah.
Then they team up and Kaydop joins. They win everything for seasons.
Mm.
So they were clearly incredible players. Then when Kaydop leaves, they can basically pick whoever they want. Everyone wants to be on Dignitas. So they pick Yukio, arguably the best player from the third best team in EU at that time, from Flipside.
Yep.
He was popping off. They picked an incredible player to add to an incredible team, and they do really badly in league play by their own standards.
Yep.
Team dynamic does matter. How you get along with your teammates does matter. And I think it all boils down back to, I remember the first LAN that Yukio, Violent Panda and Turbo Pulsar played together. And there was this scene where they lost. And obviously, Yukio has to unplug his keyboard and everything. So it takes him a little bit longer. Turbo and Panda unplugged their controllers and kind of left without him. So Yukio was there for a good 20 seconds unplugging his stuff, then left.
Oh, really? Oh.
So that just kind of left a bad vibe.
Yeah.
People always asked about that. But since then, Panda and Turbo always waited around. It was just, you could just tell they wasn't a little family.
I mean, they probably didn't know as much.
True, you could just say ignorance.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny how NA just dominated here at EU1.
Yeah,
Really?
so NA dominated. What was it? So in group stages, the North American teams went 8-0. Didn't lose a single game. That is just, what on earth? I mean, no one expected that. And then we get to the quarterfinals, and NA win 3 of them. Rogue beat Triple Trouble in a great performance. NRG losing Vitality was the only one. And looking back now, I was unhappy when that happened and NRG didn't look great. But NRG probably had the best performance against Vitality of all teams in the tournament. They got the closest, I'd say. It was only 3-1, and NRG nearly won that third game, I think.
Apart from G2, who beat them earlier in
True.
group stages.
But yeah, I was just mainly referring to day 3 because it looked like Vitality were just a different team on
yeah,
day
it was
3.
ridiculous.
That's the Vitality we've all been waiting to see, and we saw glimpses of in league play. This team that just walks over everyone. I mean, it was still somehow exciting watching them 4-1 G2 in the finals, to be honest.
Yes, it's annoying that all the arguably better teams were all on one side of the bracket.
Yeah, we did end up basically getting the final in the semi-finals. I think that Cloud9 Vitality game felt more like the final to me.
That is what I thought the final was going to be.
Yeah, that was definitely a very common pick. Especially the way the bracket worked out. It was very possible for them to end up on opposite sides of the bracket.
Yep.
However, it was actually probably more likely that they face each other in the semis. Because if they both came top of their group... Oh no, they would have met in the final. That's good then. I just don't like this bracket format. Some people like it because of the excitement of day 3. And I agree that if you just look at day 3, it's super exciting. And I'm also biased by the fact that 2 teams I wanted to win in the semi-finals both got swept.
Nah, it's not even that. It's out of the whole of day 3.
Yeah.
The only 2 teams that didn't want to win were the teams that were in the final.
Really?
The only 2 teams I was like, oh, if they don't win, I'm alright, to be honest.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. I mean, G2 did step up a different level. In the final, they looked maybe a bit nervous or whatnot, but they definitely stepped up. And as it pains me to say, it's quite clear that the Chicago move was good. Although Chicago has always proven that he's a LAN player. Every single LAN he's got to, he's overperformed with his team. So G2 are going to be happy with that pickup, and I'm sure they knew that when they picked him up.
The only problem with G2 is it's a strat or a playstyle.
What do you mean?
All you gotta do is learn how they play and then you win their games. Vitality just dominate you.
Yeah.
It's not how they play, it's just who they are. G2 is a playstyle that beats you.
Fair enough.
You learn that playstyle, they're a terrible team.
Fair enough. That's interesting. Yeah, I think Vitality just have this... It does just remind me of the Dignitas era, where they just don't let you score, and then they score. And it must just be so frustrating. even if you lose by a close result, they must just be so frustrating to play because it's 3 players known for incredible last-ditch saves.
Yeah.
And 3 players known for hitting the ball really cleanly. You know, you watch Kaydop for about a minute, just watch him. Every single clear he booms perfectly. Every single shot goes exactly where we want it.
Yep.
Little things like that, and he's just unstoppable. I mean, talking of Kaydop, that is his 5th World Championship final in a row.
Yep.
Not even a break. Didn't have a break. He's been the best since then.
3 different teams, 5 in a row. It's ridiculous.
You can't deny that.
So arguably the best player in the world.
I don't even think you can deny it. I don't think you can say anyone else is the best player in the world when someone. Because if someone like Squishy did that, everyone would say Squishy's the best player in the world.
Yeah.
It is about a popularity thing.
I mean,
Kaydop is super massive in France, and the rest of the world's like, hey, he's pretty good. You know?
Yeah.
French Rocket League is killing it.
Is it though?
Yeah. So many good French players. Now 2 of them in the same team. Under a French org. And they won everything. Honestly though, I think about Kaydop's run, and it makes me realise that yes, he's had good teammates, of course. You can't win the World Championship without good teammates. But he has this clean, high-performing playstyle that isn't flashy, that makes teammates look good. Because every team he's been on, has always been the other player that looks like the best player in the world. When he was on Mocket in Season 3, I think it was, and lost in the finals to Northern Gaming, it looked like Mystic looked like maybe the best player in the world. And Fairy Pig didn't look too good. Didn't look like Kaydop was the best player in the world. And then they split up, and Kaydop's the only one that has any success after that. And he's on Dignitas. And Turbo Pulsar looked like the best player in the world during that whole time. And now he goes to Vitality, and everyone claims that Squad Killer is now the best player in the world.
Yeah.
It's just clearly Kaydop. He's clearly the exact teammate you want. You could have anyone want Kaydop on your team. He's going to make you look good, do all the dirty work, and score all his shots.
Yeah, he's not flashy enough to be known as the best on the team.
Yeah. Although there was a clip a while ago where he scored a flip reset, and Turbo Pulsar on Twitter was like, "See, we can score flip resets. We just choose not to."
Speaking of day 3,
yeah,
you got very unlucky with upsets in your mind. Every team you supported pretty much lost.
Yeah, I'm a big fanboy of NRG.
Yep.
Rogue got through the first round, but then lost. Cloud9 got through the first round and lost.
If you think about those sort of games, the Rogue Triple Trouble game, you didn't mind as much.
Yeah, I love both them teams. Triple Trouble got to be happy with themselves. They seemed a bit upset afterwards, but top 8 in the world without an org. They just got promoted. I mean, what else can you expect?
I think they were promised an org higher up if they got further in.
Yeah, do you think that explains why they were so upset?
Because otherwise, I don't understand why they'd be so upset.
I just think they're ambitious people. How amped they get when they succeed just proves to me that they just care. And I think they'll replace Casio and be a top 3 team. Maybe even top 2. I think they look more dangerous than Barcelona and PSG.
Yeah, I think so.
And so... And Casio has looked so poor all season. Not that bad, but you just see mistakes from him and you just think he's just not on the same level as his 2 teammates. If they pick up someone high quality like Turbo Pulsar. Oh, I'd never thought of that. Turbo Pulsar replacing Casio, now that's what I want to see.
It'd have to be an org though, otherwise Turbo wouldn't go.
Yeah, he wouldn't, would he? Although, as Turbo Pulsar, would you consider it at least? If they said, let's try out.
He's not got an option to make. I don't know if he wants to win or get paid. If he's not got an option to get to LAN next season, like he's not got a paid team, he'll probably do it.
Yeah, he just wants to win.
He can guarantee payment from and then go play an RLRS. Guarantee loads of money if he really wanted to.
No, he definitely wants to win, but obviously he's got to consider the fact that he needs to get paid. However, as I mentioned last time, he's made the Forbes 30 under 30. I'm sure he's fine with money.
Yeah, I'm sure he's good.
But yeah, what else? I mean, Cloud9, again, looked really good, but Vitality just walked all over them. It was one of them tournaments where everyone just accepts that Vitality should have won. They were the best team. And looking back, they just dominated every single team day 3, didn't they? Nothing close. Which is a bit worrying for the next, few tournaments.
I don't know. I mean, Dignitas did it.
Yeah.
It's a bit scary to assume that... One would just assume that they win everything now.
Yeah. But I assume that as soon as they got together and then they had a bit of a dry patch in between the later stages of league play and
Something about EU that is terrible but also amazing at the same time.
I just don't think that was entertaining.
But like
By
EU
nature.
got destroyed
Yeah.
first 2 days, and then the win.
And even the quarters.
Yeah, and it's like, what? Where's the rest of the EU teams? Where they all at?
Even the semis, that was 3 North American teams on EU. North America clearly had a better tournament, they just didn't win it. It was basically North America dominated EU, but then Vitality decided to win.
Yeah, too much.
It's incredible to be. I don't see how they do it. You watch them play and you think, I see a mistake there, Squad Killer's not rotating back. Oh, that looked like a mishit from Fairy Peak. They clearly just read the game so well. They play defensively so well. All in the goal, always someone on the wall, always someone pressuring the ball. I don't see how you score.
I think it's a reason to win, because
Yeah.
a lot of smaller teams, you go against G2 or NRG or Cloud9,
Mm-hmm.
you're sitting there just going, oh, this is it. This is the big team.
Yeah.
Vitality, they had a thing to prove to every single team. NRG, they got sweeped,
Yeah.
DreamHack, so needed to just destroy them.
Yeah.
Cloud9 were considered the best. They needed to just wipe them out.
And with Kaydop to get revenge for last season finals.
They had a reason to do as well as they did.
And then G2 beat them on day 2.
Yeah.
So they had to get revenge on that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think they were just more thinking about winning. And looking back, I'm very happy that Fairy Peak and Squad Killer have a world championship. 2 of the best players to not already have one. It goes back to that conversation now. NRG are still the best players to not win a world championship. But I think Squad Killer has done so much in this game in the last, 10 years at this point. I mean, I don't know how long he's played this game, but it's around that. It's 8-7 years. And he's been at the top for so many years. He's been at the top where he can't make any money except from Johnny Boy streams or the 12 Titans tournaments.
Yeah.
And won everything. And yeah, Fairy Peaks look like the best 1v1 player for maybe a year now. And that's impressive in its own right, but Scrub Killer has just dominated the 1v1 scene.
I'm not excited for Scrub Killer to mention it everywhere he goes.
He won't though.
Yeah. I mean, I would. I can't fault him that much.
Yeah.
But it's just going to fuel his toxic behaviour.
He's just a kid though. And I think it's part of his personality. I think the fact that he behaved the entire World Championship kind of proves that it's just an act he puts on for his streams. Just for some drama, just for some views, just for entertainment.
He clearly has a formal side of him.
Yeah. Where he can just enjoy it and be a bit more normal. Yes. Which is fine. I mean, he's still young at the same time.
Yeah, there's no way I'd never believe that he was like how he is on stream, off stream.
Yeah.
No one would like him. He'd have no friends.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd have no teammates, that'd be it.
And then with Fairy Peak, I'm just so happy for him. He does seem like he really struggles with nerves and stuff. He had a massive mistake, I think, in Game 4. They were 3-0 up in the series. And in the 4th game, so the game they could have just taken it, he whiffs an easy save on the wall. And you see him just put his head in his hands. And you could just tell he was so nervous because he was literally within steps of lifting the trophy. But obviously he just couldn't control his nerves, I guess. And then, but obviously when you've got Kaydop and Scrub Killer on your team, it's kind of, you have to be pretty bad to make you lose when you're 3-0 up. I think he knew that.
Yeah, it's interesting how the basic player is just better.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the average player playing on their worst day is still one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, fair enough. Who else can we mention? Oh, the South American teams
Yeah.
popped off. But they didn't win, but the way I'm judging it is they did far better than OCE did in the first season. Far better.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Sam really took it to NRG. They really took it to Cloud9, but still got swept. If you look at the top 10 players for points per game, there's 2 South American players there. Even though they didn't even make it out of group stages. And then there's obviously the whole of Vitality, the whole of G2.
Yeah.
So they clearly played very well. Card looks like he's a level above the rest of his whole region, to be honest with you. And it's just exciting to see because they have a really aggressive, fast, no fear play style, which is fun to watch.
Like anything in the world, though, someone good is in a different place.
Yeah.
They just get bought and moved to one of the.
I actually do think there's a chance he moves. He looks so much better than the rest of his region, and they could keep up with Cloud9. Cloud9 did beat them, and they did 3-0 them, but that doesn't represent how close the series was.
Yeah, same as the G2 Rogue game.
Yeah.
Like, they won by 1 goal, I think, apart from the last one.
Yeah, it was so close.
It was like, only it showed how close it was in the final results.
They did play better, though. As much as we all want Rogue to win, I think G2 just looked better. And I have to give a shout out to Kronovi for the way how professional he acted. You know, it seems that he's been able to let that get past him. Obviously, he was a bit annoyed at the beginning, a bit of bad blood when it happened. But obviously, now he's showing incredible professionalism. Dealing with it as well. He's obviously realised that the move was good for both sides. And now both teams are doing much better.
I think that's what it is. I think he's not annoyed anymore because he sees the potential in the move.
Yeah.
And he likes Rocket League. He says he's just a fan as well, as much as a pro.
Yeah.
So seeing a team do well isn't a bad thing.
But semi-finals, I mean, there's no way the moment he got kicked from G2, he thought he was about to make semi-finals of the Worlds.
Yeah.
No way on earth. So, as soon as that all kicks in, he's going to be over the moon. And Rogue are going to try and battle to be top 3. I mean, to be honest, looking at LAN, got my honest opinion, NRG looked like the worst North American team. They looked like the 4th best North American team. And that is saying something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was just upset. Full of upsets. It was good though. It was good to watch.
Yeah, it was a bit of an anticlimax for me, in the way that both semi-finals were a sweep, and then the final was basically a sweep. I kind of wanted them games to be a bit closer. I just think it's more exciting when it's close.
Yeah.
There was no Game 7s. We didn't get a single Game 7. I mean, come on. The quarters shouldn't be best of 5s. That's ridiculous. Especially when you have like NRG, Vitality, and Cloud9 Barcelona playing each other.
Yeah.
You have to have best of 7s. I think the only reason they've done this format is they know it sucks, but they're doing it in transition for a 16-team format, where they're going to have 4 groups of 4. The problem with this format is you can win 1 game against a South American team, and you've made day 3.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything else. You just have to beat a South American team. A couple of the teams did that. No. Trouble. They looked good, right? But all they really did was lose to Cloud9, which they were going to lose to. Then beat, I think, RLEsports, who they were always going to beat. Then they got to day 3, where they got to play against Rogue. Rogue were popping off, but Trouble really could have made semi-finals there. And they hadn't really had to beat anyone good. Like, high tier. In terms of seeding. So there's definitely a fault there. But I get why they did it. It's an exciting bracket, I'll admit. I just think we need more games. Games behind the scenes would be great for me. There should be 2 streams.
2 streams make sense.
Maybe even just 1 without casters. I can live with that.
In 2 streams, they did that with DreamHack, didn't they?
Yeah, DreamHack did that.
Yeah.
And that was a great idea. They made it so much more entertaining because you should be able to see the second tier games, for lack of a better term. It just allows for higher competitive integrity. You know, the best teams do win. We get to see more combinations of matches. You know, who did NRG get to play in this tournament? Vitality and PSG. I want to see NRG Cloud9, NRG G2, NRG Barcelona. I want to see all them games in the World Championship. They should all happen.
I mean, they did in league play.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? I feel like the World Championship, the best like 5 teams get to play each other. And I don't know what bracket you get to set that up. But something like a round robin group, or something where you play everyone in your group, and your group's guaranteed to have at least 1 other good team. And then you go into a double elimination bracket where you have to be beat by 2 other good teams to come out, you know?
Maybe the groups go into another group. The all top of the same won the group go into one group. Sorry. And then all 2 of second people of the group go into a second group. And the winners of that play.
Interesting. I think the best way to do it is 4 groups of 4. Top 2 from each group, so that gives you a top 8. And then you do a double elimination top 8.
Yeah.
Because then you get the grand final double bracket reset, which is always fun to watch. Yeah. You don't just play the best team round 1 and then you're out just because of how the groups happen to be. Like, you can't judge how good a team is based on what group they happen to be in, because as much as you need to beat everyone to win, I think it matters that the 4th best team gets 4th. You know?
Yeah.
And you only do that with something like a double elimination bracket. Every World Championship, the 4th best looking team has got 4th. It's happened, you know? Because double elimination forces you to beat everyone except third best.
Yeah.
That's who you lose to. You lose to team better than you. And then third, guess who they lose to? Second best. And then who does second best lose to? First. That's the point. You should be able to pull your way through the best teams. You know what I mean?
In hindsight, yeah. I mean, I think you just do lose the bracket off stream, like behind the scenes.
Maybe, but then you kind of lose a lot of exciting games. I mean, you could just do so many of the group. You could do groups in one day, because then you have 2 days centered around all the best teams playing each other. And groups, half the games are behind the scenes, because then you only have to do behind the scenes games on day one, and then you get 2 whole days where everyone's there on the weekend. By the way, a lot of people don't turn up or watch on Fridays because they can't. So when everyone's watching, all the good games are happening, and it's a double elimination. There we go.
How do you prioritize what goes on stream, what doesn't?
Oh, you just maybe even random pick or let fans pick. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You could have 2 streams on day one.
Because if it's fan picked, it's obvious what games are going to be displayed.
Yeah.
If it's random, people are going to be annoyed that like an NLG game isn't displayed.
Yeah, well, maybe you just make sure you just do it in some way. There's definitely a way to do that, where every team gets a certain number of games. You know, every team gets to be on stream twice or once.
Oh, every team gets to be on once. Yeah.
For every team to be on once, you need to play 8 games, which is they usually play 6 or 7. So you could just do that. And then a double elimination bracket. I mean, you don't need 2 days for the double elimination bracket, so the group stages could go, you know, a couple matches into day 2 as well.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I just think that it would be so much more exciting. You force the best teams to beat the best teams, not just beat a few of them. The Vitality, they earned their result because they beat NRG, Cloud9, and G2. You know, they beat the 3 best NRG teams.
That was they did destroy.
But that's just because of how the bracket worked out. That's not because of the integrity of the bracket format. They could have gone, you know, if they came top of their group, they would have had to have beat PSG, Rogue, then like Cloud9. That's nowhere near the same level.
Yeah, the point is that it's always supposed to be if you can beat 2 of the top teams, it's kind of good enough.
Yeah.
And I don't think G2 did that to get up where they got.
Yeah, they beat Vitality, and then they won 2 games they really should have won against PSG and then Rogue.
Yeah, and it's just like...
And they're in the final. And that is a bit of luck and a bit of skill, you know, it's mixed both.
Then again, they wouldn't have been in that such an amazing position if they didn't beat Vitality in group stages.
And also, being honest, G2 did look like the second best team at that tournament. So I think they deserve to be there. It's just the way the bracket worked out. A lesser team could have done that same run.
Yeah.
And I think that's the point we're making. I don't think the bracket makes any sense. I think they need to put way more focus on the... I just don't think single elimination works. Especially best of 5 single elimination. 1 series, best of 5, and you're out. That just doesn't make any sense.
No, it's scary when you think about it, but I mean, it worked out. The best 2 teams arguably were in the final.
Think of the most exciting tournaments. Or the most exciting World Championships. For me, I'd say it's the flip side win in Season 2. The Northern Gaming won in Season 3. And then Cloud9 last season.
Yeah, last season was a big one. Losers bracket.
And what was the pattern between all of them? Losers bracket runs. Because it's just so much more exciting to see a team go down and then fight their way up.
Then again, we did discuss yesterday.
Yeah.
There's never been a team that's won the first game of loser bracket and then not won the second series.
Yeah, so basically what we'd noticed is that whoever wins the first game in the double elimination standard bracket of previous seasons, whoever won the first game won the tournament, whether it was the upper bracket team who won the first game, then they're done, or the lower bracket team, if they won the first game, they always won the tournament.
Yep.
And you know, that kind of gives a reason why to remove the double elimination, but I still think it's more exciting. I still think everyone would rather the second bracket. And if you think about Season 5, where NRG lost to Dignitas, the first series, NRG were the upper bracket team, Dignitas were the lower bracket team. Dignitas beat them 4-1 in the first game, dominated them. Then the second game was 4-3 with that Justin overtime goal. Far more exciting second series.
The lower bracket is definitely more confusing though. It's a lot more to deal with. I think in terms of... Because I don't know if Epic Games have anything to do with this yet. I don't know how much in control they are just yet.
Yeah.
But they are very good at targeting a wild, strange audience, clearly, with how well they've done.
Yeah.
So maybe the simplifying of the bracket was to make it so much easier for a random person to turn it on and know what's going on.
Yeah.
You cannot argue that losers bracket, you turn it on and you look at it, you have no idea what's going on. All these brackets going underneath, you have no idea. Makes no sense.
Yeah, but I mean, who's watching esports that doesn't know what a double elimination bracket looks like? I mean, if you can't follow a bracket, then what you...
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I know that's really harsh, but
That's true.
I know, yeah, it does need to be open to people new to it. You're right, actually. I just think you have to balance that. You can't just go with, oh, what's the simplest possible format? Oh, well, everyone watches the World Cup, and you know how standard sports tournaments are, so let's just do that. This is an esport. It's not the same. And people want to see games between the best teams. That's what the World Championships should be about. Not finding the best team or just, oh, scary, really important games. I want to see the best teams play the best teams. That's all I want to see. I want to see the top 4 all play each other, for example. That would be great. Now, obviously, you shouldn't have to force that. That's silly. But you should have to really earn your place. And yeah, like we said, Vitality happened to this time. But they could have very easily got to the final much easier.
Yeah, I'm more annoyed about the bracket than the results. Vitality did clearly beat 4 of the best teams.
Yeah, no one's arguing that Vitality weren't the best team. And to be honest, I think the 4 semi-finalists were the 4 best teams as well. Cloud9, Vitality, Rogue, and G2.
Yeah.
That was the 4 best teams at the tournament. So that worked in that way. But I still, why don't we have a 3rd place match at least? Why, did Rogue play against Vitality ever or Cloud9 ever? Do we know that they're definitely the 4th best team? I'd just see that so much more interesting. I have no idea where these teams rank now. You just know that Vitality won, G2 looked good, Rogue looked good, and Cloud9 looks okay.
The average one is clearly going to be Vitality first,
yeah.
G2 second, obviously. It'll be like Cloud9 third,
yeah.
then NRG and then Rogue. Because NRG is still held higher than how they did.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen an NRG Rogue this tournament with how they were both playing. Rogue would have really took it to NRG, and NRG would have had to really pull out the bag and looked outstanding, and that would have woken them up. Imagine that was a loser bracket game, that would have woken them up.
Yeah.
And it's just, lower bracket runs are just more exciting to me, personally. I just think it's the way forward. Also, talking about different seasons and stuff, the viewing numbers are finally back up to Season 3 peaks. Over 200,000 concurrent viewers in the finals.
Yeah.
Which is impressive. Obviously, Season 3 was the year they released rewards, and everyone knows at least someone that made 3-4 accounts just to watch RLCS. Whereas I think that's far less common now that everyone knows the rewards aren't great.
Yeah.
So even though it looks like views have been dropping for years, I think it's just that rewards massively inflated the numbers, and we've actually been at a steady increase. Now we're hitting the peaks again, but with actual real fans watching. 200,000 concurrent viewers. Whilst there's a CS tournament on, whilst Overwatch League players on.
Yeah.
There was League of Legends League player, I think, as well.
They stream on YouTube as well, Rocket League.
Oh, do they?
I didn't notice that, but I was listening to the stream in the background while I was doing something, and I saw on YouTube that they stream it on there as well.
That's a good idea.
Which was like another 9,000 people.
Yeah. So you add them up and they're doing pretty well. But yeah, with all these other tournaments going on as well. So, it's Rocket League fans, not just esports fans. And I think, it's only up from here. We've been saying for a long time that Rocket League has high potential. It looks like we're starting to tap into it, and everything looks good from here. I think Triple Trouble are going to get an org very soon, surely.
There's no way they don't. Then again, do you buy a team that doesn't win anything just to come 6th for it and everything?
Yeah. I mean, I would.
Yeah.
I'd love GITD branding on Triple Trouble. Maybe we should contact them.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Also, Renegades looked really good, but they lost every series and just went straight out. I wonder if they're going to make a change. Maybe Torsos looked incredible. I honestly think he looks like one of the best players in the world. I'm not even kidding. He's so fast, so accurate. I genuinely think he could move to NA and EU and have more success than Drippy. I think his playstyle suits it as well. Drippy seems to have not really achieved much.
Yeah, but the change would have done that to him.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, he had so much time to adjust. He moved right at the beginning of the season, way before League play. He really should have adjusted by then, and I'm sure scrims went well or something. They probably shouldn't have got relegated.
No, yeah, things happen.
Things do happen, and it would be hilarious if Torsos now flies over to NA, signs on as an EG with Drippy, and then they get someone else, like Sathu, go up through the rival series. That'd be a bit of fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But Torsos and Drippy back on the same team in NA would actually be hilarious. I wonder if he's considered that. Socials does look really good. And they obviously came 4th at LAN together with Jake, and I think they could do better than Jake. I don't know.
Yeah.
So they must be considering that. Well, I guess that's everything. I'm really impressed with this RLCS. Again, like I said, I don't like the bracket, but it was exciting. Rogue did well. Yeah, lots of great memories, and on to the next one. But thank you so much for listening to the Driven Podcast. Number 2.
Yep.
From GITD founders, Plasma and Simplex. Time for some plugs, because you'll all need to know. Check out our Patreon.
Yeah, go check out Patreon at Team GITD. You just do it if you Google it on Patreon website. Go check out our Twitter at Team GITD or Instagram at Team GITD.
See how simple it is to follow at Team GITD everywhere.
Everywhere, mate. Follow me individually.
Yeah.
Simplex, GITD_Simplex, everywhere.
Follow me, of course, but you're already on my YouTube, so make sure you've pressed subscribe. Like it, all the great stuff, and give us some feedback. We're just doing this as fans of Rocket League, having a load of fun with it, enjoying creating content. More content coming soon, but I'll talk about that in future podcasts.
Yeah, comment how bad we are.
Yeah, right. Honestly, feedback. I take feedback, because this is just a bunch of fun, and we're going to keep doing it. Yeah, thank you so much for listening. Catch you in the next episode. Bye.
See ya.